Hello viewers. Today we bring you an intense, suspense horror movie, The Devil, released in 2010. The movie opens with a Bible verse, which appears on screen. A male voice narrates his childhood story that his mother explained the circumstances that surround the devil roaming the earth and sometimes actively seeking out individuals who have sinned. The dead body of a guy is seen falling onto a truck. Two detectives Bowden and Marco arrive to investigate. Bowden is shocked to see a rosary in the hand of the dead body. After inspecting the place, Bowden concludes that the truck wasn't there at the time of impact, as there was no broken glass on the road, and it must have rolled down the road from somewhere nearby. They inspect the neighboring area and notice a skyscraper. Bowden assesses that the man has fallen from the skyscraper. As this is happening, 5 strangers step onto the elevator of the same building where the suicide has taken place. Ben Larson, a temporary security guard with a violent past, an elderly woman Jane who is a compulsive thief. Vince McCormick, a mattress salesman who is a con artist. Tony, a former mechanic who served in the U.S. military during the war in Afghanistan and is now seeking employment within the building. And Sarah Caraway, the wife of a rich man. After some time, the lift stops in between floors. This is when strange things start to happen. A CCTV camera in the lift allowed 2 security officers, Ramirez and Lustig, to see the incident. Lustig calls building maintenance worker Dwight to address the lift problem, but Dwight is currently fixing a broken window on the 35th floor. Detective Bowden and Marco, as they walk by the multi-story building, notice broken glass on the floor and a cleaner cleaning the mirror shards. Bowden was about to ask the cleaner a question when a large piece of broken glass fell from above, nearly killing Marco. Bowden concluded that the man must have jumped from this height and designated the structure as a crime scene. Meanwhile, in the elevator, everyone is confused as the microphone of the lift isn't working, and the security guards in the CCTV room were unable to hear them, though the passengers of the lift can hear them through the lift phone. Lustig informs them that soon the elevator will be fixed. The power goes out in the elevator and the lights start flickering, and for a brief moment, the lights get switched off. When the light comes back, it is seen that Sarah is wounded with what appears to be a bite mark. All suspicion is initially focused on Vince, who has been edgy and trying to flirt with Sarah since the beginning. Ben and Tony help Sarah and shifts her to the corner. When Lustig sees this, he called the police, as now it has become an assault case. The lights in the lift regularly flicker and occasionally turn off completely. During a break, Ramirez, one of the security officers, claims to have seen the devil on the monitor while looking through the security camera, but his companion Lustig makes fun of him. Bowden and Marco arrive in the CCTV room. Bowden introduces himself to the people stuck in the lift and informs them that they will be evacuated soon. He then instructs Marco to look at the visitor's logbook of the building to identify the passengers. Once again, the lights go out, and the mirrors in the lift break. The incident escalates into a crime scene when the lights come back on and the salesman with the red tie is found injured because a broken mirror shard punctured his jugular vein. The others watch in horror as he dies. The passengers start to mistrust one another as the security personnel watching them through the camera speak to them one way over the speaker, and Bowden warns everyone to stay away from Vince's dead body. Ramirez tries to convince the detectives that these types of incidents happen when the devil is near, and according to his belief it is called the Devil's Meeting, as today a man committed suicide and now these people are trapped in the elevator and one of them is dead. He says that the devil takes human form and traps the sinful in a confined place only to turn them against each other, before killing them one at a time, and in the end, all will die. He says that the signs are already set in motion. To demonstrate his theory, he throws a loaf of bread into the air, which lands upside down on the ground, which is a sign of the devil's presence according to his belief. No one believes him and Bowden calls the fire department to rescue the people stuck inside the lift. In the meantime, a forensic specialist discovered a suicide note on the 35th floor, in which it is stated that the devil has descended to earth and that he can hear its footsteps. Following an investigation, the mattress salesperson Vince McCormick is found to be a Ponzi schemer who defrauded numerous victims. The people inside the elevator freak out and turn against each other. Dwight attempts to rappel down the elevator shaft via a pulley to try to fix the elevator. Ramirez says that the devil will stop any attempts to help his victims, and Dwight's strap comes loose when he is knocked over by a flock of pigeons and plummets to the roof of the elevator, eventually killing him. When they find out that Dwight has passed away, Lustig and Ramirez are shocked. Bowden gave the order to break through a building's walls to get into the elevator. Ramirez shows Bowden the devil's face he earlier saw, but Bowden is unconvinced. Then, Bowden shows him a note saying "I'm so sorry" and reveals the deaths of his wife and kid. who were murdered in a hit-and-run accident 5 years ago. The driver had left that note and says that he doesn't believe in the devil as the people are bad enough by themselves. After monitoring the CCTV footage of the same morning, the agents come to know that the older woman Jane Stealing stole someone's wallet, and Tony had come inside the building carrying a bag that he no longer had. The electricity goes out once again, and when it's lit again, the old lady Jane is discovered dead and hanging from a light cable from the ceiling. The remaining three freak out, leading Sarah and Ben to accuse Tony, while Tony maintains his innocence, but none of them believes him as the murderer is one of them. Now Bowden starts to worry, and orders to assemble all the people in the lobby of the building and calls for more police force. Ramirez says to him that they all are bad people, that's why they are in the elevator, and there is a reason why they are the audience of the incident, as the devil doesn't stage the incident and its viewers without a reason. In the meantime, a woman tries to enter the facility and the voice narrates that he kills the last one in front of the person he loves the most. Marco discovers Tony's bag in the bathroom of the lobby, which contains various power tools that can cause lift malfunction. This makes him the prime suspect of the whole incident. Ramirez starts to prey on speaker. In the elevator, Ben and Tony start fighting, each suspecting the other as the killer. Sarah tells Ben to kill Tony before he kills them, and Ben attacks Tony. Bowden comes back to the control room and diffuses the situation by having the passengers put their hands on the wall. Ramirez is still firm in his belief about the devil's presence. Bowden asks Ramirez how to save them if the devil is truly there. Ramirez responds, "They all die." Marco tells Bowden about Sarah, who is married to a rich man and plans on leaving him after stealing his money, as she has done before. Today she came for a meeting with her lawyer in the building as she knows about the illegal money of his husband. Lustig goes into the basement to shut off the power where the firefighters are drilling into the wall. He notices a shorted wire on the floor, attempts to move it, and dies after being electrocuted. Bowden comes to know that Sarah's husband owns the building's security company, aware of Ben's violent past. He is convinced that Ben was hired to kill Sarah by her husband to keep her from leaving him, and that the two other murders were orchestrated to make the entire episode appear as a random serial killing. However, Ben himself becomes the victim of the next blackout when he winds up on the floor with his neck twisted around horrifically. Bowden becomes confused because one by one everyone is dying and he cannot find the person behind all of this. The two remaining survivors, Tony and Sarah, suspect each other, arming themselves with mirror shards, but Bowden diffuses the situation over the loudspeaker by telling them about his recovery from alcoholism following his family's death. He asks them to take responsibility for their actions. The lights go out again, and when it comes back, Sarah's throat is slit. While Tony tries to stop the bleeding, the old dead woman gets up at Tony's back and her eyes become black, and it's revealed that she is the devil who has taken the form of a human. She tells Tony it's his turn to die, and Tony accepts it, even offering to be taken instead of Sarah. He remembered that he had been trying to grab a beer while driving and had crashed into another car. After Tony accepts what he had done, the devil gets angry and tells Tony that he thinks he can do any bargain and that he thinks he can become good. Detective Bowden and Ramirez watch through the CCTV as Tony confesses to killing two people in a drunken driving hit-and-run accident. He says over the radio that he is so sorry, and Bowden realizes that Tony was the one who killed his family. Bowden realizes that Ramirez was right about him having been meant to be the audience to this whole incident. The devil says it really wanted Tony, and all the lights go off. After a brief period, the lights are switched on, but the old woman had vanished into thin air. Tony is arrested for the hit-and-run, and en route to the police station, Bowden reveals that Tony killed his family, but to his surprise Bowden forgives him. The film ends with the male voice saying that his mother always reassured him at the end of her stories, if the devil is real, then God must be real too. If you like our effort, please subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. It encourages us to make more content for you. Also, please hit the bell icon so that you don't miss our new videos.